Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel CodeMind. So today we will continue the array concept only. From tomorrow or day after tomorrow we will start the string concept or the next concept. So let's begin with today's questions. Our first question is, actually this is the format in which the questions are asked. So I want to put that format also to you so that you will get habituated of how the Wipro is going to ask the questions. Might they will ask in this format only. So I had put it this one in my slide. So what is the question is, given marks of the students are stored in a list or array. So marks of some students are stored in a list or array, and you are hired to write a logic that find the maximum marks of that student from that particular list of array without any default function. So what this is using saying is that we need to find the, we had given a list of marks. These are the marks of the students. So here it is given the marks of the student and you need to find out the maximum marks. What is the maximum marks of the student? You need to find which marks is the maximum, and without using a default function. Means you have to write a code without using any function. Means you don't have to write any function in your program and then you need to make it. Note, one note is also you should not use a default function, that is first note, and write pure logic. So length of the array can be between 1 to 100. Means the marks can be 1 1 marks only, or can be, it will be less than 100. So it will start from 1 to 100, means more than 1, and less than 100 can be possible the size of the array or the list. So our input format, what is our input format? The first line contains the array consisting of a space separated marks. So this is the input array which contains a space separated marks. And what is your output format? That is, we need to print the maximum marks. So what's the maximum marks that we need to print from this array? So in short, what we need to do, we have an sample input. So we had given a list of elements, okay, list of elements that we called it as a marks in this one, and simply we need to find the maximum of this element in a list. Which element is the maximum in this list? That will be contained as an output. So in this 99 is the maximum, so our output is 99. Hope you understood the problem. In this way you have to take the problem, okay, and you have to get the logic how we can proceed that one. So we don't know what Wipro is going to ask in your exam, so I'm preparing you so that you can get a logic from all these program. You will get to understand some of the logic, like how if something question, if question can happen in a different way as well, like the same question can happen in a different manner. So you must have to be clear with your logic so that you can write any kind of program or any kind of code that will be asked in Wipro. Why I am telling this one? Because I myself has qualified or cleared many of the on campus as well as off campus drive. So I know how to write the or how to develop a logic. As many as questions you will solve, that will help you while generating your logic when you are sitting in a campus drive for any of the company. So you must have to know how to develop a logic. Okay, so proceed with that common, this one question. Okay, so what's that one? So first we need to take the list of elements. So we will take the first list of elements. Okay, here we have taken the list of elements. So now what we are doing, we are calculating the length of the list. So length len is a function in the Python to calculate the length of the list. So n is stored, that is the size of the list. L contains the elements of the list and n stores the size of the elements in a list. So what is our input? 12, 32, 56, 78. So what's our input? L contains 12, 12, 32. Next is 12, 32, 56, 78, 56, 78, 99 and 23. Okay, So this is the list of elements. So size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So n contains the value of 6. Now I is in range of 1 to n. Means I will start from 1 to n, that is 6 minus 1, that is 5. Up I will iterate from 1 to 5. Okay. So when it is iterating from 1 to 5, all means it will start iterating from here onwards, that is from 32 onwards it will start iterating one. And we have taken max 1 contains the L of 0, that is list of 0 is 12. So max 1 contains the value of 12, that is L of 0. And now in every one we will check out, that is if L of I is greater than max 1, because we need to find maximum. So if this value is greater than this one, or the value which contains in the max 1, if it is greater, then that value is stored in the max 1. So now 12 is changed to 32. Okay, again I will be changed to 2. Now the I value is pointing here. Index start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These are the index value. So these are the index value. So now 56. Is 56 is greater than 32? Yes. So 32 is changed to 56 and 56 is stored in max 1. Now 78. Is 78 is greater than 56? Yes. So 78 is stored in the max 1. Now is 99 is greater than 78? Yes. So 99 is stored in max 1. Now is 23 is greater than 99? No. So Li 23 is not stored in max 1 because it will not enter into here, because this condition is not satisfied. Now print the max 1, that is 99 is our output. Okay, so this is very easy, very simple question. Okay, that's it. We need to find the maximum element. I think previous also I told about this one, but just because of the question, how the format they are going to ask, I put it this one in this slide. Next question. This is student marks are stored in a list. So student marks are stored in a list. So this is a list. So here the student marks are stored. Okay, in every alternating person starting with second student marks, find out the total marks of the second student. Okay, so see here what it is saying. After reading this much, you will not get a clear idea what it is actually saying. So we will start input format. The first line contains an array consisting of a space separated marks. Okay, so list contains the value of the marks in the space separated format. So we will take L is equals to list of map of int comma input of split of. We will split with the space. Here also saying it is splitted with the space. So we will split with the space here. Okay, as in the previous or in the next question, as we will just, this is the input line, this one is the your input line. L is equals to list of map of int comma input of split of. We are splitting with the space. By default it is splitted with the space. Okay, if it here it is said that instead of a space, if we have to say that we are going to split it with the instead of a space, if it is comma. So if here it is your comma, then how we will write it? So here in split with a function, we will write as split split function, we will write here the comma. So it will split it with the comma. Here by default it is splitted with the space. Okay, now output, what we need to print? Print the sum of even index in the given array from 0. So print the sum of even index. So the index, here it is talking about the index. So whose index is your even, print that sum in a given array starting from the 0 1. So see here, it's 23, 45, 67, 68 and 69. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So whose index is your even, that number should be added. So 23, 67 and 69 will be added. 67, 69 and 23 will be added. Okay, so what will be our answer? So 9, 1, 12 and then is the, so 9 will be here. Okay, 6, 12. So this one is our output. Okay, wait, 6, we need to add 23. Print the sum of the even index in the given array from 0. Yes, from 0 we need to print it. So we need to print 23, 0, first index, second index, third index and fourth index. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yes, sorry, it is 89, not 69. That's why it is happening. What is that? So 23, 45, 67, 68 and 89, not 69. I put it here 69. So 0th index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index and 4th index. So this is your 0th index. Okay, so this is even, this is even and this is even. So 23, 67 and 89 will be added. So 23, 67 and 89 will be added. Okay, so 9 will be here, 1 is carry. Okay, 10, 16, 17. So 179 is your answer. Sample output is your 179. Okay, so you know how to deduct the logic from the question. Okay, now we proceed to our program. So here we have splitted it with the space. Now what we are doing for I in L, so I will take the values in the list. Okay, and we have taken one variable which is count is equals to 0 for the index. This is used for the index one. Okay, so if that index mod 2 equals to 0, then we are adding that value, that is the I contains the element of the list, so that we are adding 1. So sum 1 equals to 0 and it is added with the list element. What is your list element? I will write here the list element: 23, 45, 67, 23, 45, 67, 68 and 89. 68 and 89. So here the index value is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is your C value. Okay. So initially the C value is 0 and I contains your value 23. So sum of that is C value 0 mod 2 is equals to 0, condition is satisfied. So sum 1 plus equals to I, that is 23 is added. After that C value is incremented. C value is 1. So is 1 mod 2 equals to 0? No. So it will not enter into this one, but C value is incremented. Okay. C value will be your incremented. Okay. C value will increment. C value will be your incremented to 2. After that one, if 2 mod I value contains now 67. Okay. First 23, after that 45 and then 67. Now 2. Now 2 mod 2 equals to 0. Yes. So sum 1 plus I plus equals to I. So 23 plus 67. What is that? That is, so 90 will be your output. Okay. Now sum contains, sum 1 contains your 90. After that the C value will be incremented to 3. Is 3. So now the I contains the value 68. So is 3 mod 2 equals to 0? No. So C value will be incremented to 4 and I value will be changed to your 89. Okay. So 89. So is 4 mod 2 equals to 0? Yes. So sum 1 plus I. So 89 plus 90 is your 179. Okay. 179. Now this C value is incremented to 5. Now any I in the list. So every list element is completed, so it will comes out of the loop and it will print the sum value, which is 179. So our 179 will be printed as an output. Okay, very easy question. Next question. See, given marks of students are stored in a list or array. So simply same, the marks of the students are stored in a list format. You are hired to write a logic that finds the minimum marks of that student from that particular list of array element. So previously we have found out the maximum marks of from that list. Now we have to find the minimum marks. So minimum is 34. So 34 is the output. This is the list and we have to find the minimum element in that list. That's it. So you should not use any default function. This is one condition. You have to write your pure logic. Okay. Here it is saying that you should not use any default functions. So what do you understand by a default function? Means you can't use any any predefined functions which are already defined, like max, min, or the functions which are already defined, you can't use that one. Like in the Python we can write it generally simply with the min function we can find out and we can find. So previously also we can find out with the max function max of this list of element. For example, this is the L of the element, and max of L will automatically find out the maximum of the list of this element. Okay, so we don't want that one. This want, instead of writing this as a single line and finding, you have to write your pure logic. Okay, so previously I had shown you how to find the maximum of that number. Okay, but this time I will tell you with the function only. Okay, min function, because I had already told you their max function. I will here to, without using a max function there previously I told you with the pure logic. Okay, I want to show you with both. If in the question it is not saying with a pure logic, okay, this is not there in the function, in the question, then you can directly use a min function or a max function. So I want to tell you with the both one. Okay, let's see. So our first line contains an array of a space separated marks. Okay, so print the minimum marks is our output. So this is our input sample and this is our sample output. So see the question. In this simply I had told you with the min of L. Okay, so this is min of the function which is present in the Python to calculate the minimum element from the list. So min of L will take the all the list elements. So we have taken the split. L is equals to list of map of int comma input dot split. So we will take the elements of the list. Okay, L contains all the elements in the list, which will become here all the elements in the list, and that from there it min function will find out the minimum values in the list and print that one. Okay, but why I had told you here is that you should know both of that one. If they had not asked the this one by using this is not present, if this is not present in your question, then you can directly use this method. Okay, then you can directly use this method. Okay, this is very good method, you can directly use. But in this our question it is telling we can't use this function. So I will tell you, this is the how we find the maximum. So instead of this one, I will tell you in same one, instead of max one we will take the min one. Okay, and will store the L of 0. Just a minor changes that we need to do it in the max function to make it as a min function to calculate. This is the function, this is the program to calculate the maximum. But if we will do a minor change in this function, we can find out the minimum. Okay, that you should know how to get a logic for that, because that will only help you in writing the code. So now what the changes we need to do, instead of L of I is greater than max 1, we will put L of I is less than min of 1. And if it is happens, then instead of this one we will write the min of 1 is equals to L of I. That's it. These two changes only we need to do it. That's it. And we will get our program. Okay, so I will, if you want I will trace also with, like if there is a list of element, consider 2, 3, 4 and 1. Okay, this is the list of element and I want to trace you. So L is equals to list of element, we have taken the list of element. N is equals to length of list, so N contains the 4. Now min of 1 is contains the L of 0. So min of 1 contains what? Min of 1 contains your, so this line is crossed, this line is crossed and this line is crossed. So min of L contain, min of 1 contains your value 2. Okay, that is the first element. Now I will start from 1 to 3. I will iterate. Now I is equals to 1. So here index 0, 1, 2 and 3. So I is equals to 1. So if L of I, that is 3, is less than min 1, is 3 is less than 2, condition is not satisfied, it will not enter here. Now again I value is changed to 2. Now 4. Is 4 is less than 2? Is 4 is 4 min of 1, L of I, that is 4, is less than 2? No. It will not enter here. Okay. After that, again the I value is changed to 3. Is 1 is less than L of I, that is 1 is less than min 1. So 1 is less than 2, yes. So L of I, that is 1, is stored in min 1 and this one. Now I value is not incremented, so min 1. So instead of printing the max 1, we will print the min 1. That's it. So our output is 1. We don't need to change anything, just we need to change here this condition. Instead of a L of I is greater than, we will put L of I is less than min 1. That is the change of the variable name. That's it. Here also change of the variable name, that is min 1. Here also change of the variable name min 1, and here also change of the variable name, that is min 1. That's it. So you have to develop, if you have found out, write a program to find a maximum element, you can develop a program to find out the minimum element. Okay, just we need to do a minor changes, that's it. So this is by using a pure logic, and that is by using a function. Hope you got my points. This is by using a function. Okay, so this is the program that we are doing it from last 2 days, I think. That is, this program is of the sum of array, longest sum of array, so sub array. So what is this? Yes, previous time I told, so in first video I told about the positive only, then in second video I told about only the negative ones, and in this I will tell you about whole total cases. Okay, so I will if you want, I will explain once again the what this question is saying to you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the sum of the sub array, longest sub array. So what is sub array? For example, 1, 2 and 3 is there. So we want the sub array. So what is sub array? So 1 is the sub array, 1, 2 is the sub array, 1, 2, 3 is the sub array. Okay, 2 is the sub array, 2, 3 is the sub array, 3 is the sub array. So we need to find the longest sub array, which is this one. The sum of the longest sub array, that is your 6, will be our output. So this we want from this question. Okay, so we will start. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when all are positive numbers, then we need to find out the, then we need to sum all the elements, and that is the 7, that is the 10 is our output. Okay, the next is the, if we have sum of the positive and sum of the negative integer, then we have to find the sum of the longest. Like in this one, what is the longest subarray? So first of all, we need to find the longest subarray, and then we need to find the sum of that one. Okay, so in this question, 2, 3, if there is 2, 3 and minus 8 is taken at a time, so 5, 5 minus 8 is minus 3. No, it can't be the longest sum of the subarray. Or if we take the 7 as well, so 2, 3 minus 8 and 7, so minus 3 plus 7, so it will be your 4. So what will be your longest? So this can be your longest, that is the sum of the longest subarray. So this can be your longest. 7 minus 1, 6, 6 plus 5, that is your 11. So 11 is the sum, that is the our largest sum of this longest subarray. Okay, so longest subarray of the sum, which sum we will get the largest sum of the longest subarray. Okay, so this one is our subarray whose sum is the largest one. Okay, so we need to find out. So 11 is our output. Hope you understood the question. After that, now I will trace the program. So T of int of input of, so I will trace the program for this input, this input. I will trace for this input as well, and I will trace for one. All are negative one. Okay, so that hope you every doubt will be cleared for you. So see here. So first I will trace for 1, 2, 3, 4. So T is equals to 4 test case or 3 test case, that depends on you, and it's for running for the number of test cases. Now n contains the value of 4. Okay, now list contains your 1, 2, 3, 4. N contains your value 4, and list is this one. Okay, so print max value L comma N. So why I am giving you questions in def also, like in the function, by creating your own user defined function, because the most of the questions are asked in the function only in the campus drives. So that's why I am giving you in the function. So now, so this is the function. So this is the function call, and here is the function user defined function. So what we are taking, that is res we are taking. So L of 0. So first L of 0, that is your 1. So res is stored 1. Now m value contains your, what is it, m value? M value also L of 0, that is 1. Now for I in range of 1 to n. So 1 to 3 I will run. Okay. Now m value is equals to max of m value plus L of I comma L of I. So L of I is equals to L of I, that is first one 2. So 2 plus m value, that is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 comma L of I, that is 2. So what is maximum? 3. So m value contains the value 3. Now res, max of res comma m value, that is 3 and 1. What is the maximum? 3. So 3 is stored here as well. Okay, in the res as well. Now the m value contains your, now I contains your 3, that is L of I contains your 3 and I contains your 2. Now m, max of m value plus L of I. So m value is what? 3. 3 plus 3 is your 6. So this is 6 and L of I is equals to 3. So maximum is 6. So which is stored in m value, and res, that is 3 comma 6, which is maximum. 6 is maximum, so is stored in res. Okay. Now the next one is the 4. I value contains 3 and L of I is 4. So m value is equals to 6. 6 plus 4, that is your 10. So 6 plus 4, that is your 10 comma 4. So 10 is the maximum. So 10 is stored, and 10 comma 6, which is maximum. So 10 is maximum. So our output return the res. So res value is your 10. So we have printed the 10 as our output. Okay, we are done with this. Now next one, we will go with this one. Okay, so this is n is equals to 7. Okay, 2 3 minus 8 7 minus 1 2 3, this is the all contains the L value. Okay, so initially both res contains the 2 and m value contains the 2, that is L of 0 and L of 0. Now I start from 1 to 6. Okay, so now in the first iteration, L of I is 3. So m value, that is 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 comma 3 is your 5 is the maximum. So 5 is stored, and 5 comma 2 comma 5, which is maximum. So 5 is maximum, which is stored in res. So now minus 8. So minus 8, how it will be? Minus 8. So m value, that is your 5. 5 minus 8, that is minus 3. And minus 8, which is the maximum? Minus 3. So minus 3 is stored in the m value, and res, that is 5 comma minus 3, which is maximum 5. So it will be stored in a 5 only in the res. Now the L of I contains the 7. Now 7 plus m value, 7 plus minus 3, what is that one? Is the 4. So here it is 4 comma 7, which is maximum? 7 is maximum. So 7 here as well as 7 here also. Now minus 1. So m value 7 minus 1, that is your 6, and minus 1. So 6 is the maximum value, and here 7 it will retain, because max contains 7 and this contains 6. So 7 is the maximum, which is retained. Now 2 here. So m value, that is the 6 plus 2, that is your 8 comma 2, which is maximum. 8 will be your maximum. So m value contains 8 as well as res contains your 8. Now 3. So 8 plus 3 is your 11. So 11 comma 3, which is your maximum. 11 is maximum, and 8 comma 11, which is maximum 11. So our output is your 11. So our output is your 11. Okay, now I will trace this for minus 1 minus 3 and minus 2. So res contains your minus 1, m value contains your minus 1. Okay, I value will start from 1 to 2. So max value, m value, that is your minus 1. Okay, minus 1 plus L of I, that is minus 3. So minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. So minus 4 comma minus 3, which is the maximum? So minus 3 is maximum. So minus 3 is stored. Now res minus 1 comma minus 3, which is maximum? Minus 1 is maximum. So it is retained. Now minus 2. So m value is your minus 3 and minus 2. So minus 5 here and minus 2, which is maximum minus 2. So m value contains your minus 2. Now res value is minus 1 and minus 2, which is maximum. Of course minus 1. So minus 1 is retained here. So after that res is returned. So minus 1 is returned. So minus 1 is output. I want you to trace for this input. You will definitely got your answer as in 14 because it is same like a first one. Okay, now I think hope so it is clear for you. The next question and the last question for today's, this is a buy stock and sell. So buy stock and sell, what we need to find it here is to maximum profit. Okay, I will tell you, I will explain the question first. See, this is the size of the element, that is 6. Okay, now this is the L, that is the list of element. Okay, so we have taken the T for the number of test case, we are iterating for number of test case, and we have taken that is 6, and we have taken the list of element, for example this one. Okay, so what we want to be here. Okay, so if we have taken this stock at 1, okay, so when it will be good to sell it. Okay, see, this is your 1, this is your 5, this is your 3, this is your 2, this is your 8, and this is your 12. Okay, I will write it here: 1, 5, 3, 2, 8, and 12. Okay, so want to find the maximum profit. Okay, so profit we have taken as 0. Wait, so we want the profit as to be your 0. Sorry, profit is to be maximum, so we have taken one variable, profit equals to 0. Okay, now I is iterating from 1 to n, so I will iterate from here to here. Okay, now if L of I is greater than L of I minus 1, that is L of I, which is your 5 is greater than 5 is greater than previous one, that is L of I minus 1 means 1. So yes, if it is greater, then we will add that profit to this one. So 5 minus 1, that is L of I minus L of I minus 1, that is 5 minus 1 is 4. So profit 4 will be added. So we can, for example, we can take the stock at when it is at rupees 1, and we can sell it at rupees 5. So how much profit we are getting? 4 as a profit we are getting. So this is called the, so when we are taking it, okay, and when we want to sell it, so we are buying at 1 and we are selling at 5. Okay, so how much profit we are getting? So 4 is the profit we are getting. Okay, so this is the question that it want to say. Okay, now next one, iterating. So I value contains now 3. Okay, so L of I contains 3, I value contains 2, that is the index because it is in range. So L of I, that is your 3, is greater than 5? No, 3 is not greater than 5, so we will not do anything. Okay, means at rupees 5 if we buy this stock, so we can't sell it at the 3 because we will not get any profit. Okay, so we will not sell at 3, we had buyed at 5. Okay, now again we will iterate, and I contains, L of I contains the 2. Now is L of I, that is 2, is greater than 3? So no, if we buy this stock at 3 and it is 2 is less than the 3, so we cannot sell it. Okay, now we will iterate that I value to 8. Now L of I contains the 8 value, L of I, so L of I is 8 is greater than L of I minus 1, that is 2. Yes, if we buy this stock at 2 and if we sell this stock at 8, so of course we will get a profit. So that is 8 minus 2, that is 6 profit we will get. So 6 will be added, so 10. So total profit we have taken as the 10. Now I value will be incremented and L of I is 12. So is 12 is greater than 8? Yes. So if we buy this stock at 8 and if we sold it at 12, what is the profit we will get? That is the 12 minus 8, that is your 4. So 4 will be added. So 14 will be our total profit. So total profit is this one. Okay. So our total profit is this one. Okay. trace it with this second input, you will better understand about this one. That is, we want to have a profit if we buy the item at one price. Okay, so when we will sell it, if its value will be greater than this one, so what we are doing is that we are checking with this one. If this value is greater than the previous value, then yes, we can sell it and we will get a profit. That profit is added. Simple. We are we are taking the I and checking with the I minus 1. If this I is greater than I minus 1, then we will take the difference and we will add in the profit. That's it. That is the buy stock and sell. Okay, hope you understood. I had made this same program in the user defined function. Okay, because the questions generally asked in the functions, so I had made that one. Simply, you don't have to do anything when you are converting that similar program into a function. Same, we have taken the test case, same, we have taken the range, that is the for loop for the test cases. N is the size, L is the list. Okay, now we have taken the users defined function, okay, which is defined by a user, and print that one. Instead of writing the code here as only, we are taking one function and we are defining that function and then writing our logic of the program what we had written there. Same thing we will write it here. Instead of printing here profit, we are returning the profit and we are printing it here. That's it. So this is the way how you can convert this. So this is the way you can convert it into a user defined function. With a function as well, you can use that one. Same thing, just you need to define it here as a function. Write your logic here, and instead of printing, we can write a return function as well. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you. If you like the video, please do like and share with your friends and subscribe to my channel if you are new to channel. Thank you.